As with all charges, they're mere allegations, and Mr. Lockhart is innocent until proven guilty. This morning we charged Evan Lockhart, 19-year-old, from the city of St. Louis, charged him with assault of a law enforcement officer, attempted robbery, and 2 counts of armed criminal action, stemming from the shooting of Sergeant Joe Egan on December the 18th. As you know, Sergeant Egan was on surveillance when he was approached, an attempt to steal his car. The shooter, identified as Mr. Lockhart, with a gun, discovered he was a police officer and shot Sergeant Egan, and then fled the scene. He was arrested on yesterday, December 31, by the city on an unrelated incident, and information was developed to indicate that he was involved in this shooting. He was taken into custody. He's been charged in the city of St. Louis with several offenses, and he's charged in St. Louis County with the ones I just mentioned. He's in the county jail right now with no bond set at this point. And I believe $1 million bond in the city of St. Louis on those charges, and no bond set here. So from this point, the matter, there's still a lot of investigation ongoing, and then the case will ultimately be presented to the grand jury.
Can you say at all what evolved yesterday to lead you to believe that he was connected to the shooting?
Well, no, we can't go into detail on the evidence itself, but they said he was arrested by the city on an unrelated matter, and as part of that investigation, it evolved into developed information that he was involved in the shooting of Sergeant Egan. And the investigation then focused on that, and we were able to develop actually 3 agencies involved: the city police department, the county police department, and Maryland Heights Police Department. We're all able to develop that information that resulted in the charges being filed, the 4 counts.
Was he on any sort of short list, or was this a name that just came out of nowhere?
You know, this, my understanding, this was a name, basically, or an identification came out of, just developed on that other. There wasn't anybody, as far as I know, on any list at that point. There were investigation ongoing, but no individuals identified as potential suspects until this developed.
What can you tell us about the suspect? Any prior record? Or
you know, he's 19 years old, and I don't know at this point. Do you know if he ever his prior record?
I'm sorry, could you tell us?
He has prior contact with law enforcement, but certainly nothing of this caliber, nothing of this nature.
We haven't heard yet.
Exactly, I don't know.
What did he do in the city?
Well, that, you know, I don't know. Okay. You know, I know there's a robbery, an attempt robbery, or something along those lines in the city, which is all about the same time as this occurred. I think on the 18th or on the 17th, thereabouts, soon before he shot Sergeant Egan.
How is this evidence credible relating to the shooting? How are you connecting the two?
Well, as I won't go into the evidence specifically, but just to say that as a part of that investigation, as you see in many investigations, one thing leads to another, and it sent the officers in that direction, and that developed the information, the evidence that he's involved in this shooting.
Is it aware whether he was related to the surveillance that was going on? Or?
What I understand, he was not. It had nothing to do with anything that involved why Sergeant Egan was there in the first place. No, it was just a crime of opportunity on his part.
At that time of the shooting of Sergeant Egan, did you recover a weapon?
No.
How about an update on Sergeant Egan?
He's doing better. He still has some obviously very serious injuries. I understand he's gone through several surgeries and will require several more, but mercifully it's not at this point life-threatening injuries, and he will recover. He'll have some serious permanent injuries, but he will recover.